We've got our new little experiment that we're doing that we'll fine tune. If it works out, I think it's revolutionary for the toe. I think it's great. It's a little bit of brainwashing and conditioning on your end, so there will be some bumps in the road. We've got our Rumble viewership has been going insane lately. I was watching Hughezy. I like Hughezy. You know, he was on with me Saturday. We did an interview that got dropped Saturday. And I will say this. The Lemmys and Dans of the world, people I shouldn't even really be concerned with because, I mean, there ain't they ain't low man on the totem pole. There ain't no totem pole there. But they still have a lot of steel toe seed in them. And one of the seeds I see is that people just ignore when there is a fact about steel toe that runs counter to their narrative, they just ignore that it exists. It's an amazing mental acuity. It's incredible. I've never seen it before. But they pretend that we are not a Rumble show and that we don't get paid by Rumble to do our show on Rumble, which we do. It's called the Creator Program. The more we're on Rumble Studio, the more we stream on Rumble, the more Rumble pays us every month. So they go, well, Toe's losing audience. Like, really? Because we got the same 600 to 700 people watching us we've always had. I forgot that these cretins don't understand that there's more than just YouTube. And honestly, if you're streaming, you should be on way more than YouTube. YouTube throttles engagement. YouTube, kind of like how Facebook got with posts and business posts and links and stuff. You got to be saying the right thing or you're going to get gone after. So you should be on Rumble. You should be on X. You should be on Facebook. You should be on Kick. You should be on Twitch. You should be on all of these places. And the fact that we diversify, I forgot that a lot of anti-steel toe feeling is projection. And a lot of their projection is, well, we live on YouTube, so we only go by YouTube. You understand we've actively been attacking and encouraging people to not watch our YouTube and go over to Rumble. I mean, I was watching that stream, and I'm like, Jesus, the steel toe cope is huge with these people. It's unbelievable. And people I've either never met or met once. And it's like I know I didn't do anything wrong, but it's very clear that I've harmed these people. And Keanu was brilliant again. Every time Keanu goes on those panel shows, and this Ava, I've never watched this Ava before, except when all these people were shocked to find out that Aaron's actually a really smart guy. And you don't have to be a really smart guy to call that JMO thing. But that Ava is this trans person who's really, really sharp. They were just dunking on these other two. And I don't think it's nice to dunk on Lemmi because she's clearly going through a really hard time right now. I would say probably get off the internet. You're not a pro at this. Her life is completely fallen apart as if it hadn't fallen apart before. And you can tell there's just a bitterness in Lemmi now. And I feel bad because I remember when Lemmi was just a fan of this show and Bubba, and she was very happy. And now she's just, I mean, she's just the trope, the stereotype of a miserable person. And it's really, I don't take any joy in watching it. But Keanu was just, I felt bad for Hughezy because his show at the end just became, we want to talk about the toe. We need the toe. I'm like God to these people. And Keanu just kind of set them all straight. She's like, look, I know this guy. I talked to him. Your guys' fan fiction. She at one point said, she goes, I'm sorry that breaks your narrative, but I have to tell the truth. And I'm like, you know what? This girl goes on to these panel shows and all she does is slay. She slay all day. She slay all day. So I really appreciate it. She does a very good job on those panel shows. She did very, very well. And yeah, I think Papa Shop says, stop feeling for bad people. Is Lemmi a bad person? I think Lemmy's just someone who's had substance abuse issues. I mean, she hits that vape like she's hanging onto the ledge of a skyscraper. There's some dependency there. I don't feel any animosity towards Lemmi. I don't know Lemmi, but she has this weird parasocial thing where she thinks she knows other people. And when she gets wrecked by these people, she just kind of gets miserable and bitter and grouchy. I think grouchy is a good way to say it. All right, let's go to Bigot on Socialist Media says, if you stopped streaming on YouTube altogether, would these retards think you're not streaming anymore? Yes. Like if Rumble said, hey, if you just stream on Rumble Premium and you cut out YouTube completely, you bring all that audience over here and the Rumble Creator Program will double your pay. I would do it. And then all of those people will go, hey, not streaming anymore. He stopped streaming. That actually might be an idea. Huh? Annoyed Wawa supervisor with a great point says panel shows, for sake, stop legitimizing what it is. It's addicts yelling at each other on Zoom. That's a good point. That's a good point. It is odd to watch people like talk about you and analyze you when they're broadcasting on your second or third biggest platform and you're still doing more numbers on that one platform than they are. It's like, I'm not saying you should have to have a license. I'm not saying you should, but it seems like you're not qualified to reach up this high. I don't know what to tell you. I think really it's I gotta say, as a guy who, came up in radio, you're always taught that if they're talking about you, you're crushing it. And I gotta say, I think it's true. They don't boo nobodies. Hey, I don't mean to start a feud, but I like Hughezy, and Hughezy did an interview with us, so I watched his stream. I watched Keanu owning people. I had to watch a lot of sour pusses have to swallow a lot of shit on the toe, and I had to watch them cope about the toe. But that Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid, he had some mean things to say about you.
Oh, he was kissing my ass last time we talked, which was a while ago. Oh,
he said you're awful. He said you can't be saved. You're terrible. And I want to say this. I'm not trying to rile you up. I'm not trying to get you mad, but I got to say this. If there's anyone who's qualified to gauge what's pedantic, awful, and boring, it's definitely Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid, because that guy has a PhD. You think I drag out a bit too long. At least my voice changes inflections. I get excited as though I'm actually pumped about what I'm bringing to you. I don't talk as though I have jihadi guns to my head. And then I got to tell Dan this. Dragging shit out too long to be ironic when you're a boring guy doesn't make things funny. But I'm just trying to help. Anyway, he says you're hopeless and that you stink. Your thoughts?
I could give two shits what Dan says. He's the one I went on his show, and then I me and him, like, I was like, I kind of went on there, and I didn't, it wasn't what I thought it would be, and whatever. And then after that, he was super duper nice to me, and I haven't heard from him in forever, and now I suck. Okay, I'll file that under. Oh wow, he flip flopped again. I
will say this about Dan: if I had to come up with a word to describe his existence, I would definitely use the word tragic. Hunter with $10 says if they are all voting to release the files, we're just going to get white sheets of paper dipped in black ink. Also, first idea is Bikini Thursdays, a throwback to the good old days. Bro, if you think those were the good old days, you were not living in the same house I was living in. Or her. I think it needs to be put very clearly, because I think a lot of people want to shit on April or they want to shit on me. We were both incredibly toxic for one another. It was, I mean, I threw away my entire family because I wanted to defend her and whatever. That's toxic behavior on my part. And she was more than happy. That kind of stuff got her ego off. I mean, she loved that shit, and that's sick and toxic. We were both terrible people. So let's not act like Bikini Thursday is all April being a attention whore bag of shit. That's also, I mean, if you got a man in the house at that point who gives a shit about the relationship, he goes, number one, you're not going to be on the show with me. You go back to work. You're not going to be on the show. We're going to protect you a little better than that. And number two, you're going to say, you're not going to shake your little white ass in a bikini on a stream. Have some dignity. That's what a man do. That's what a man do. So I'm sorry. Good old days, I can't go with you on that one. But thank you, Hunter. Bikini Thursdays is a great idea. I think a lot of people would benefit from me going that route. But yeah, I don't like the whole either April's a lying coke whore or Aaron's the biggest piece of shit who ever lived. Both can be true at the same time. I am certainly a better person now than I ever was at any time in my second marriage. And I'm sure if you hooked her up to a lie detector, she'd say the same exact thing. And good for her. We both deserve it. Drinking beers with $5 says, I listen to what I want to with Spotify. I only listened to radio because of your show, literally. And that's the thing. My show, and look, if you hate me, cover your ears. My show saved radio in this area. I mean, you wouldn't believe we had thousands of people who said, I stopped listening to podcasts in the morning so I could listen to Steel Toe because it was an interesting, good show every single day. I'm like Seamus, banger after banger after banger. That's what I do. That's why there's so much jealousy. But if I got to say, if I went back to radio tomorrow, and I'm talking to people about doing that, if I went back tomorrow, I'd do the same thing. I'd pull it off again. I'm a miracle worker with this shit. And we do it the next day. Winky Wenkus Wizard with $2 says, when do you read Streamlabs chats? Oh, let me go in there. Sometimes they don't transfer to PayPal. Like a lot of times we'll get a donation on PayPal and it won't have a message with it. You're right. I forgot that when people go through Streamlabs, they have their own message. So let me get in there. Fair is fair. Let's read this mod. I'm guessing these are from Wink. I can do this, by the way.
You sure? Yeah, you can.
Winky Wenkus Wizard. We've got... Oh, I can't read that one, sir. I can't read that one. $1. How much to get rid of Johnny? He looks tired, and every time I feel he reminds me of my dog that I had to put down.
Oh, that's just hurtful.
Honestly, $200. No, I'm just kidding.
I would be more hurt that you'll do it, or you have such a low price.
$1 from Winky Wenkus Wizard says, hey, man, I'm stream sniping you right now. Oh, he typed it in his Opie radio. Hope you don't mind. I think you're awesome, and we should do a show together. Oh, shit. I thought this was karmic. Sorry about that. Put Johnny to bed. There you go. So I do thank you for that. I appreciate it. You know what I love about Winky Wenkus Wizard?
What's that?
He was so proud of those remarkably unfunny chats that he's now getting
sent the thing to go check them.
That he's now getting made fun of for in the chat, as people are saying, "Wow, really important." But he was. I don't want to make fun of him. Everyone else is doing that. I thank him for contributing to the show.
We celebrate your chutzpah. You committed to that bit, sir.
You really did. Jesus.